What's poppin', yo? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at a movie from my childhood. A movie which is, I do believe, a sort of straight-to-DVD movie, which does also have 3D glasses included with it, so you can watch this movie in 3D at your own gaff, at your yard, if you did want to. This is a solid movie to watch at your own gaff, in 3D as well, which I think is insane. And it has a pretty interesting concept as well. It very similarly reminds me of Space Chimps, but we did take a look at Fly Me to the Moon yesterday with Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson, so I thought we'd take a look at a similar movie with a similar, if not exact same name, today, which is very exciting, very interesting, and, you know, just something that I just thought would be interesting to do. So, without any further delay, let's take a look at what Google has to say. And this is Fly Me to the Moon, and this is a little bit of a pun title, as it is a movie about flies and insects and bugs. But this is a 2008 family adventure movie, which is an hour and 24 minutes. Again, the average length of the movie, and the length of a movie, what the length of a movie should be. It has a 4.5 out of 10 on IMDb, a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 3.7 out of 5 on Amazon. You can watch this on Amazon Prime, Google Play, or also YouTube. Nat is determined to reach the moon and stealthily enters a rocket with his two friends to execute this goal. However, they encounter fierce competition from another Russian rocket. So, what's poppin'? This movie starts off with three little baby flies looking up at the moon and saying that they want to go. So they set out to go. They go onto like a human training facility where they're training to go to space. They take part in the training unbeknownst to the humans. They sneak on board the rocket as well, and they go to space. They have little spacesuits and everything. Again, the humans have no idea that they're there. The humans have no clue that they're there. We then have obviously the main story being Russians and the USA fighting over who can get to space first. It's like the Cold War. It's like the space race, whoever can get to space first. And we then have Russian, flies trying to sabotage the flies in America and stop the rocket from getting home and taking off. And these three flies' parents and uncles and family members have to then defeat these Russian flies and get these flies back home. There is also Russian flies on the space rocket that they're on and sabotaging the rocket from the inside, which these guys then also have to stop. And when they land back down on Earth, they save the day and they manage to beat the Russians in the space race. It is a fucking bizarre film concept, and again, like I say, it does remind me of Space Chimps, and I don't know why it reminds me of Space Chimps, but it does. But the early 2000s had a very fucking weird obsession with making bug movies. We have A Bug's Life, we have Ant Bully, we have Fly Me to the Moon. There's more, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. They are there, though. They are out there in the world. But this one is the strangest one to me. It is the weirdest concept to me. Like, flies going to space. Isn't that strange? Flies find a way into your house and then struggle getting out. I'm pretty sure they could find their way onto a rocket ship and then struggle to find their way out, even if there's no air. I'm sure a fly has been to space at some point. But the animation here is really fucking ugly. Like, these flies look almost humanoid, and it is just really, really odd. These flies are really fucking weird. They also are very one-dimensional with their characters. We have IQ being the brains, Scooter being the fat, greedy one, we have Nat being the main character. We have Nat's mum being a very busy mum with the larvae, very busy and actually not knowing her kid has left. It does a very big Home Alone thing. And this movie doesn't have any tropes that I can sort of link it to any other movies, like any story beats to sort of link it to other movies. Like I said with Fly Me to the Moon yesterday, had very similar vibes to 10 Things I Hate About You, with the love story being, they're just doing their job, they're doing something which is going to upset the main character, they're doing something clearly wrong, and they go through with it anyway for personal gain. They end up falling in love with the character, and then, regretting their decision, they fall out, they get back together, happy ending. But there is nothing like that with this movie. This does feel like an original concept to me, and it's just fucking bizarre. Like, this movie feels like a fever dream. Like, it's just flies going to space. I don't get it. It's just fucking weird. It looks ugly. The voice acting is decent, I'll say that. The voice acting isn't bad. It actually conveys emotion, and they all seem quite excitable, and they all have their own different personalities and stuff. You can quite clearly tell which fly is supposed to be the bad guy. Like, there is clear character design and character details that you can quite distinctively tell which flies are the good guys. We obviously have the bad guys looking a lot uglier and a lot sharper in features compared to the good flies, which look a lot more rounded and friendly. Again, these bugs are wearing clothes, which again is another thing that I don't understand. Why are these creatures wearing clothes? Even in like Ants and A Bug's Life and Ant Bully, they didn't wear clothes when they were bugs. Like James the Giant Peach, none of them wore clothes. Maybe they didn't. James the Giant Peach, I do regret that decision. I think they actually wore clothes in that. But 3 out of 4 isn't bad. Why are these bugs wearing clothes? It is very, very odd. And it is just a bizarre movie. Like, I have nothing else to say. The animation is decent. The story's just so strange. Like, how high were the directors when they thought of this idea? Like, how'd you even come up with this idea? This idea is, like, baffling. Like, flies in space. What a weird concept. Still, I think it's a mediocre movie. I don't think it's excellent. I don't think it reinvented the wheel. I don't think it's, like, the best movie out there. I don't think it's that original that it's, like, amazing, but it's a decent movie. I'll give it like a 5 out of 10. It's like definitely mid-territory, and it isn't a movie that I would watch again. It's definitely a movie that I forgot about, and that I do believe I'm the only one that watched. So if you haven't seen it, please go check it out, so I'm not the only one that's watched it. And if you have seen it, please let me know so I know that I'm not alone. Like, this was a real movie, and it wasn't just my imagination as a child. Because if I came up with this idea, that's fucking weird. I was a weird kid. I was a very strange kid. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. I'll see you all next one. I hope you all have an excellent day, and goodbye. If you do want me to do more movie reviews, please do let me know down in the comments below what movies you want me to watch next.